So I want to say a few other things, and I'm not really sure where to begin because my mind is just overwhelmed with all kinds of thought. Not really. Not really overwhelmed because my medicine is kicking in and it makes me focus. Makes me focus. That's what it's made for, but it also has other dual impacts. But what I'm learning is that in order for it to work the way it should, I'm supposed to stay away from triggers. I'm any excessive writing, because I have a condition known as hypergraphia. So I will write and write and write and write and write and write and write, and this has gone on since it's gone on since I think maybe about 2015. I'm not sure. Well, I was 28, so I'm thinking during the time of the end of my brain growth and my neuronal trimming that ended at 33 is when the condition began. I started writing a lot, even like sending people a lot of emails, and it just never stopped since. And I started journaling. I think I started journaling before that. So it started happening around 25 years old, yeah. And I started journaling, like stacks of journals, you know, to the point that my hands would just cramp up, you know, hurt. So now I do anything I can to avoid excessive writing, and when I look at a journal, it just makes me feel sick. When I look at spiral notebooks, I just feel sick. Kind of. And I'm not sure if a part of it I don't want to talk about. But I want to talk a little bit about, I think, what I struggle with, but I think I made this video to also talk about, you know, continuing on with life a little bit. And I started thinking all kinds of things in my head, like, okay, I think I've determined what I want to do. You know, I can't just you know, sit back and be frustrated or, you know, depressed and when I take my medicine, it's kind of hard to get depressed anyway, so I might as well use that time effectively. That's what it's for. It serves a dual purpose. And the doctor just switched my medicine to one single pill, a different one that's supposed to last the entire day, 12 hours. And sometimes when either or medication that I take kicks in, I end up telling myself, like, oh, whoops, like, why'd you write that? Like, why were you thinking like that? Like, you know? And some of what I deal with it's different. It's not schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder. Bipolar disorder is different. You know, when you're confused about something, you kind of snap out of it, or have the ability to, you know, at least, you know, and the same kind of things don't happen to you. Like, you don't really have auditory or visual hallucinations, but you can believe some things, you know, that aren't real, you know, or that that may be possible but far-fetched. And in my case, I believe in science, so after all this stuff happened to me, I feel like it aggravated and exacerbated and even brought forth new symptoms that I've never had. I started learning a lot, though, and when I learned a lot, I think I started to get kind of confused, and I still don't know what's possible, because I think that I've experienced a side of reality that a lot of people don't know about. And I think I can also take that too far, though. Let me put it this way. There are some things that have been declassified. Now, I don't want to talk too much about this subject because I am tired of people confusing me with being confused, or with being a certain way, you know, when I may have moments of lack of clarity. Let me give you an example. I have an ongoing belief about my ideas. But I still snap out of that. And what I mean to say is this. I think it could be true. I think it could happen. But that doesn't mean it's going to, kind of thing. The difference is this. At times, I believe more than maybe I should, that this could or will happen or is going to happen. And when my medicine kicks in, I kind of snap out of that a bit, I think. And I take two different kinds of medicine, but they both impact neurotransmitters. And as crazy it may sound, even a dopamine imbalance can make a person think straight again if it's corrected. So if a person like me, who is naturally low on dopamine and listless, receives that balance, you're going to process things differently. Or another medicine that is made to slow down the activity in your brain at the same time. So I take both of those kinds of medicines, and that's what helps me snap out of those experiences. It then moves from, okay, maybe this might not happen, to this could happen. I think that's improvement, you know. I'll put it this way. I can explain scientifically how it's possible in a way that can't just be outright denied by science. But to assume too much about my interaction or engagement with any quantum effects and to say it absolutely means this. It may be not good. Not reality. But then it may be, you know. But I would have to let it play out, and it kind of saddens me a bit because it's like I don't know, you know. But I do know that when I'm not doing so well, I know too much, or I think I have it solved, and I get lost in that reality. Instead of seeing the difference between quantum possibility and, hey, you haven't worked your way there yet. And I know I don't have any substantial progress on true development on the construct I've created. It's an idea, and I just am feeling like that somebody's going to steal it from me all the time, because I think that's what happens. So I don't think that's unreasonably paranoid. But without the help I need, it does get unreasonably. I do go into unreasonable paranoia, and that's part of my condition. So, and anything you say online, that's the way I feel. People will take advantage of us. Higher ups. And I don't think that's okay, because in a way we have no freedom in a public space from an unlawful, you know, unwarranted search and seizure, etc., you know. But in courtrooms now, they can say, oh, so and so agreed to this, you know. Oh, so and so agreed to, you know, data partner sharing, without knowing it, just because they just wanted to continue on with their life, okay? And they can't do anything without agreeing to at least one service, who then has partners, who one service is not, they don't have to have any accountability. They don't have to have any liability. And then to a judge, that's okay? No. Because we get trapped into a cycle where it doesn't matter what we do, everything can be obtained about us, and they can call it a lawful search and seizure, when it's not. That's why we need a digital Bill of Rights. And what I came here to say is that I am now probably forever impacted. I'm probably going to need some therapy about it when I feel comfortable talking to my therapist about it, because right now I don't. I'm going to need further therapy and treatment because of everything that's happened to me. I've been hacked. Files have been modified. on persistent drives. I've had video files where I was just cursing and calling these oligarchs stupid, and these people that make AI, because they're just going overboard, and they're I think they're on a mission to floor it, without any control. And I just think they're hypocrites for saying, this could get dangerous, this could get out of control, but yet that's where they're taking it. That's what they're doing. And they say AGI is coming, AGI is on the way, and that's just great. That's just fucking great. Do you think it's going to care about you when it eats your face off? No, it's not going to feel a fucking thing. Period. And it's not going to be your robot pal, Elon. We're going the wrong direction. Like a car driving down the wrong road, like a car driving down the wrong way of the road. And if my younger brother could hear this right now, he'd fucking laugh his ass off. But that's between him and I. So that's what's happening. Because people want to gun it, they want to floor it, they want to get there first. And you guess what the NSA and the CIA, whatever, what they're all doing, okay? DISA, okay? They're in underground bunkers right now, building things like my idea, probably saying, thanks, dude. You signed the terms of service. While I'm on, X-Core's website saying, oh, I have this great idea. I solved cold fusion. I solved a way to make magnetic confined fusion reactors way more efficient, well before you did. Oh, and my method can be applied in both forms of reactors. Oh, and forget the magnetic confined fusion one. We can trim that down a bit and use it in a smaller loop under D2O with my cold fusion idea. Oh, and we're going to use this to increase the collision rate. How? I wrote it down thinking it was safe because I couldn't get it out of my fucking head. I couldn't stop the thoughts. They wouldn't stop coming. And guess what I'm watching? I'm watching videos of people online succeeding with nuclear reactors, and they're like, well, how's that happening? How is that happening? How the fuck is that happening? I know how it's happening. I know exactly what the fuck's going on. But because I don't have a goddamn bachelor's degree, at least, I can't step in the lab to fucking explain it. And they may be pretending that they don't know what's happening, when they're fucking around with neutrino clouds. But what they're doing is they're taking your ideas and they're fucking selling them. They're taking my ideas and they're modifying them and they're selling them. You think they're going to look at them and say, that's a great fucking idea? Well, it belongs to him. We're good scientists. No. And I was fucking naive. And they've been doing the same thing to scientists for fucking ever. And hiding their ideas too when they're too good. Guess what else I did? I solved time travel. Someone else probably did it too. I've heard stories of it. Have you ever heard of Mad Mike Markham? I solved a way to make sure that we can return to any specific time. In any specific universe. Without the grandfather paradox screwing things up. Without it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I found a way to exist in the same universe and branch off into a different one. So they want to keep me quiet because they're like, how the fuck did this guy get so smart? I don't know. I have an idea. Here's my idea. I literally asked ETs to make me smart so I can save the planet. And 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 as crazy as this may sound, they're looking at me like, what the fuck? Because some of the things I've said make a lot of goddamn sense. They make a lot of sense. Now, I've got one more project I want to create. I need some materials to do it. I may have to make them myself, but I learned something about light, about the speed of light. I learned how to calculate something. That will do something awesome for us. And I'm still unsure of how to use it, how we could use it. But I have some ideas and they're already appearing in my head. And when it comes to quantum things, I have seen the past and the future collide. You know, I've seen them. Now listen, that may sound crazy as hell. Your eyes will get real big if you sit in your bedroom in my bedroom with me and you let me hit the play button. Literally, the play button. I have audio files the government does not want you to hear. How do I know that? How do I think that? Why do I think that? Because my content isn't reaching you. It's not reaching you. They don't want it to reach you. So as long as they're going to do that, Fedman, I'm going to keep talking. If I'm free to talk because you don't have anything to worry about, then I guess I'm going to keep talking. I don't think you have any. I don't think you have anything to worry about. I mean, fuck, unless you think that you can't protect me like an asset, you know. Unless you think that someone's going to try to fucking come here and kidnap me and say, tell me what you know about science. That's crossed my fucking mind. And I'm pretty sure it's crossed yours too. I want to get back to writing down on paper what I saw on my wall. Because it's stuck in my head and I can't get it out. And I want to perform that experiment that I see in my head. And I feel like scientists are already taking my ideas, so I'm not going to tell you all anything anymore. So, where reality meets fantasy, whatever the fuck is wrong with me, sometimes things happen to people like me where we go too far, okay? But it doesn't mean we aren't correct about certain things. It doesn't mean certain things can't happen. And certain individuals like us, well, we end up being real strange. We end up changing the planet. That's right. We end up changing the planet. We're some crazy motherfuckers, but we end up changing life for all of you. And for whatever reason, they want to stop me from doing that. If they were just to say, hey, over a fucking email, they probably won't. We want you to stop talking about these certain things. Could you please, Mr. Sir, for certain reasons that we can't disclose to you, if they fucking ask me nicely, I might look at them differently. I might say, oh, you have respect for my boundaries. You have respect for my rights. Oh, if I go to college and get into a lab, I can maybe work with you and you could trust me, or I could trust you. Instead of looking at them like they're the fucking enemy.